maybe. Here we are. Hearing the music. Are we live? Are we on the internet? What's this newfangled internet these kids are talking about? Yeah, it looks like we're having problems with it. What a surprise. I didn't have a problem with the WrestleMania wrestling podcast.
Welcome to Stirring.
I got criticism for that too.
Marconi, Johnny Cleveland.
What happened at WrestleMania?
Fanatical L's Network, fans first. Join us now. Well, you could hear us talking behind the music there. I'm John Suchan. There's Lou Marconi. We are stirring the pot. It's actually Johnny Cleveland for tonight.
Johnny Cleveland, a.k.a. Suchan. Yeah. John Suchan is wanted by the Fed, so we can't say his name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. We don't want to go there.
I'm just teasing. Just joking. Hey, I'm going to remove the fans first thing.
Okay.
So, okay. Let me get rid of that. Okay. So
maybe do you want to put yours up there? Do you want to try to add yours?
I can do that. Yeah. I'll add mine. I'll add. Okay. Yeah. I'll add.
Well,
mine.
Welcome everybody. He can try to do that. We got a lot of things to talk about, Lou.
Oh yeah. There's a lot. I guess there's like a draft happening this week.
I guess so.
There's an NFL draft. Here we go.
Cavs won. Guardians won earlier tonight. They beat the pinstripes from
the
New
Skankies.
York.
They beat the Skankies.
Yep. And then how are you adding? Let me see if I can add the. Let's see if I can add the.
You go up to edit. Go up to
edit. I just
did
that.
And the Cavs took game one. They look like the better rested team. So I had that and WrestleMania going on at the same time because I had to cover both, which was like one eye watching on each. So it was kind of funny.
Just a lot going on. You had your show earlier, you said today?
We had the Combat Zone show, which is through Fans First. And that was myself and Corey Castle. We reviewed WrestleMania 41. And I got feedback on because there was a guy. I don't know if you follow wrestling or not.
Still not wanting to work.
Yeah, get rid of it if you want to get rid of it. Yeah, if there was the Randy Orton's opponent was supposed to be Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens couldn't compete because he needed neck surgery.
Okay.
So they brought in a mystery opponent. So everybody tuned in. Okay, who's gonna wrestle? And it was pretty neat. It was a surprise. It was the TNA Wrestling World Champion, Joe Hendry.
Okay.
So they have a working relationship with WWE. They let their champion come in and compete at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. Randy Orton beat him clean with this finish in the middle of the ring. Did not win the belt.
Ooh.
Then Randy Orton picks him up, is going to shake his hand. Hey, good match, blah, blah, blah. And then he hits him with the finisher again and then does his pose and walks away. And the guy's left laying. And I'm sitting there going, whoever at TNA allowed this to happen is an idiot.
I don't know.
You just made your champion look like a pile of garbage in front of millions of people that were watching this. But some people were like, well, any publicity is good publicity. No. Let me just explain something. 22 years in the wrestling business.
Sure.
I broke in in 93. Okay. 22 years of competing as a wrestler in the wrestling business. I've done other things in wrestling since then. But when you are a champion of a promotion, you have a responsibility to sell tickets and draw.
Yes.
You have a responsibility to represent the company and look strong. You shouldn't be on the internet doing stupid stuff. You shouldn't be getting arrested for stupid stuff. And you shouldn't be doing stupid stuff to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't go to another promotion and just lose to a guy in the fashion that you did. Because you just looked like crap. They made you look bad. And there's people that are there that work at that promotion that depend on that paycheck.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility. Whoever allowed him to do that, if he didn't have the clearance and he still did it, it's on him. But if somebody gave him clearance to do it, it's on that person. And whoever did that should be fired immediately. You made the biggest mistake in modern professional wrestling history. That company could be out of business in 6 months. You
really?
Yep. I know this isn't a wrestling podcast. Right. I'm sorry.
No.
But I just thought it was the dumbest thing I ever saw, and I was shocked.
Well, you're very close to all of that. You know a lot, far more than.
Yeah, if you don't follow wrestling, but and I don't know Joe Hendry. I never met him.
Okay.
I'm sure he's a great guy, but that was just I would pull him aside and say, "What were you thinking? Why did you let this happen?"
Yeah.
No, don't.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Okay.
People think it's just dumb.
Let's cool. Yeah. We'll cool things down here. Let's talk about the Browns draft.
Yes. Everybody's doing a mock draft. There's a lot of rumors. It's silly season. I'm showing up to a Journey concert before that. And
well, me too. I'll be there now.
With Ethan.
We're gonna yes.
I'm meeting with Ethan at 216 Pizza. Yep.
How are you doing your I figured we'd come on live from our phones a couple times. I was going to try to do that. Are you wanting to?
I'm going to bring my phone in my.
Do that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got a new phone since last season.
And you got a new car.
Don't go into details. Shh, that's my wife's car. It's not my car.
No cars. No cars.
My wife's car. Yeah, it's my only fan.
Wait, what? Money. No, I was talking about money.
Okay.
All right.
What's up?
So this draft stuff. So I did a series of articles, Lou, and I wanted you to, maybe you read them.
You're in love with Shedeur Sanders. Yes,
I know I'm in love with Shedeur, and I got a lot of flack from a lot of silly people out there in La La Land.
So do I.
And everyone's welcome to their opinion. I'm welcome to my opinion, and I've been top heavy on wanting Sanders. I think that he would be a good quarterback here for the Cleveland Browns, and I wrote 2 articles this weekend.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people their biggest gripes or arguments back to me, and you maybe agree with this, is that his value he's not valued at number 2. If he's there later on in the first round or he drops further, then sure, go back and get him, or get him if he's there.
Can I tell you the rumor that I heard?
Yes.
Today?
Yes.
If he drops past the Saints at 9.
Yes.
The Steelers were going to trade up to get him.
Yes. Well, see, and this is where I get really irritated because what you just said, it's like, why? If the Browns, I'm asking you, Lou, do you think the Browns that they think they're smarter than Pittsburgh, or, because if Pittsburgh's willing to go up there and grab him, why aren't the Browns willing to just take him at 2? And this whole argument, well, you're passing on
Depends on where Pittsburgh gets him. Like if he's at 12 or 13 versus 2 overall.
I don't want the Squealers to get Sanders. You want that?
I don't know. I'm probably kind of indifferent about it right now, to be honest with you. There's nothing that tells me that Shedeur Sanders, this is me talking, that he'll be the next big thing, that he's going to be a franchise quarterback. I know if they draft a guy at 33rd, whoever it is, whether it's the kid from Alabama or the kid from Mississippi State or Ole Miss, not Mississippi State, my fault, the Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe, they're going to be projects. They're not going to be, they're going to be third behind them. They're going to develop them. But
Sanders wouldn't be a project.
No. If you take Sanders at 2, you're playing him game 1, right?
I would say more than likely, yeah. I mean, you got Joe Flacco there, and you got Kenny Pickett. Maybe they do what, they put one of those veterans out there for the first 2 or 3 games, and then let Sanders take over after week 4 or 5 or whatever. But I don't know. I'm baffled by this. I guess the other thing that's baffling me about this whole thing is Sanders. Okay, you don't want to take Sanders at 2. People are all convinced that they're going to take Hunter.
Travis Hunter, yep.
Or Carter. I know our colleague
nobody's
Steve
talking about this red flag, but I'm going to about Travis Hunter.
I know you're going to talk about that here in a second. But then everybody's enamored this last couple of days. It's driving me crazy.
About Travis Hunter?
Yeah, no, not Travis Hunter. It's the combo of everybody's got it on the bandwagon for Travis Hunter and Jalen Milroe, who couldn't beat Vanderbilt last season. And okay, the guy can run for 700 yards in a season, and he has a lot of upside. But every one of these freaking players has upside.
Of course,
I'm not taking Milroe at 33.
They're top 100 in the NFL draft.
What's wrong with you folks out there that want to take Milroe at 33? It's go watch the tape on the kid. Just go watch the tape. Right. Are you crazy? He's not worth a 33rd pick. If he's there in the 3rd or 4th round, for God's sakes, then go ahead and take him. But I'm not taking him at 33. You need a tackle. You need a safety. You need a good cornerback. I mean, go get one of those guys at 33.
You need a running back. You need a running back.
I'm sorry. I'm just all.
There's needs to be filled. I understand.
So
Yeah,
I'm just a little
fired
peeved
up.
about this whole
Fired
thing
up.
about Hunter and Milroy. If that happens, I'm gonna just puke on if they come in. See, here's the other thing, Lou. You know this.
Mhm.
At 33, they got all day to all night Thursday and 30 and Friday before the second round opens to decide what they want to do with 33. There's
Right.
going to be a plethora of players out there for
Yeah.
this team to look at. Don't tell me right now that they're set on Travis Hunter.
Somebody could fall to them that they weren't expecting and be like, "Oh shit, we got to take this guy." Right.
Right.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen.
What do you think about Milroy? Are you enamored with him like everybody else?
I'm not enamored. I'm not enamored. I think from what I've heard and read, and I watched tape on him. I watched him play. I've seen his struggles, and they said it's his mechanics. Was if they think they can coach his mechanics to get him to be a good quarterback, then I'm like, okay. If they think they can coach him up, I heard a lot of good things about his character, his intelligence, his athleticism, all that good stuff. Fine, that's great.
Lou, when was the last time? And I know our colleague Jarrell Flint, who sometimes does the dog food radio, has always poses this question: What players have the Browns coaching staff honestly developed after they've drafted them? Like what quarterbacks, what players?
This regime, none. This regime has yet to even draft the guy at high. I'm talking first 3 rounds high.
Okay.
So, right. So, like I said, what's the plan? If you draft a guy at quarterback, whether it's 2, 33, 67, 97, whatever, I mean, because we have 4 top 100 picks. Any one of those 4 spots in the top 100, they're taking a quarterback. I just don't know who and where. Whoever have a plan. Have a plan.
And I'm sure they have a plan.
I'm sure they do. Yeah, they also worked out scenarios because things could happen that could throw people off in the draft. And don't panic. Just don't hit that panic because you don't make good decisions when you're panicked. If I was betting, and I said this Friday night on my show, and if I were a betting man, I'm thinking it's Travis Hunter, but there's a red flag on Travis Hunter I'm going to talk about. I don't know if you guys knew this.
Do you want to take a break?
Take a break right after the break. I'll tell you back. Yeah.
We'll be right back, stirring the pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland.
Yep.
Hello, we're back. Lou, tell us your breaking news.
That's not breaking. It's not breaking, but people have noticed this. The red flag I have for Travis Hunter is I think his girlfriend's going to screw with his head. She is a piece of work.
Okay,
she was at the Heisman when he won the Heisman Trophy. She wouldn't stand up. She wouldn't stand up.
Really?
Yep. She's done YouTube videos. She used to be a stripper.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's my understanding. She used to do, and she's pretty much a gold digger because they went to high school. She wouldn't talk to him in high school. Then she realized, hey, this guy's gonna be a top 5 NFL draft pick.
Really? Ooh.
There's like things about it, like
high
Deion
school
Sanders
soap opera drama.
Deion Sanders had to tell her, like, hey, get up and stand up and applaud. He just won the Heisman. Get up.
Oh
and there was something else. Like it was after a game where she was mad and he went in to go kiss her and she pulled back and kind of gave him a nasty attitude. So I could just see this type of a toxic female presence in an athlete's life ruining a guy. And Travis, man, you're a young man. I would be happy to guide you. I've seriously, just believe it. Do what Tom Brady did. Before he got divorced from Giselle. When he married her, a lot of his assets, almost like 95% of them, were in his mother's name.
Really?
So, oh yeah, she was pissed. Giselle was pissed because she didn't get much, if anything. Yeah. Which he was like, hey, Tom Brady's not dumb. I mean,
right.
He's not dumb. So
I mean, this Travis Hunter stuff, like beyond that, it is something you have to consider some of these things, and it creates, the way a player goes about his daily activities, his life it can be,
not
I don't know dictated,
her name,
but it can be. But the relationship, that's a very important piece in anybody's life.
I don't know if they're still together or not. I haven't heard much about it lately.
I guess there's a lot going on with this kid where, he's $180. He doesn't, everyone is talking about him like he's the second coming of, whatever.
$180?
Yeah. He's small and he's skinny. And I don't know. I just don't. I have not seen. Can you think of any other wide receivers that were drafted? I mean, I'm thinking about like Braylon Edwards that the Browns drafted. Or can you think of other wide receivers in the NFL that have been drafted in recent years like this high? And I know he's supposed to be this like dual threat, but I'm not.
When was Marvin Harrison Jr. for the
Marvin
Cardinals?
Harrison? Okay, well, maybe. Yeah.
I'm thinking him. Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the only one. Yeah, that's the only one. That's the first one. He went to the Cards. I want to say it was top 5. I want to believe he was top 5.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think so. And you knew he was going to be talented.
I mean, we've talked about Josh Gordon, the 1,700-yard season back in 2011 or 2012, and that Browns team went 4-12. I mean, they were like, so
there's. I mean, yeah, like I said, I agree with you that it's not necessarily the okay, he's 21. Let me look at his stats. These are Google stats of what he weighs.
Sure.
Let me look at stats. Crap.
Well, he's had he's a very good player. I'm not good, but these people thinking that he's like, and maybe it's just because
185, 6'1", 185. Okay. Yeah. Not over big, not big on size. Okay. Let me see. Go ahead.
No, I'm not like, our colleague Steve Gill really thinks that the Browns should take Abdul Carter. And at this point, I'd almost be more inclined to be happier with that pick because it's a defensive pick.
Yeah, girlfriend's is his fiance now. They got engaged in February last year.
When's the wedding?
Her name is Leanna Lene.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
something else. We got to go dig deeper and find out a little bit more about what it was like in high school. You said they went to high school together?
Something like that. And she wanted nothing to do with him. And then all of a sudden she found out who he was in college. And it's like, this guy's going to be a star in the NFL. Ooh, I need to gold dig here.
Let's talk about gold digging. How about Bill Belichick? My God.
Oh yeah. More power to him, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess. It's just ridiculous seeing her.
He's a walking advertisement.
Walking on the field of play the other day at practice down in North Carolina. She's walking around in high heels, and I'm like, what in the heck is going on here?
Good for her.
I guess. Whatever.
It's just nothing to do with it. He's in his 70s.
I know. Let's just go. We have better things to talk about.
But yeah, it was interesting. It's interesting, but that's the thing that I think could be something that could screw with his head. Is this woman could be a problem?
Well, you think about players that we've had in the past here, or even current players' wives, like Wyatt Teller's wife, very social media, always out there. Baker Mayfield's wife used to be pretty.
Never had a problem with Emily or
no, I'm just saying, but I mean, that is something to consider, and it comes, if they're married or if they have a girlfriend, some of that stuff comes out and is. All right. Well, are you set then? Like you're cool with this Travis Hunter, Jalen Milroy at 33? Like if that happened, you'd be fine with it.
I wouldn't be mad. No, okay. I wouldn't be upset. That would tell me they have a plan for the quarterback, and I think. But I was.
This is why I'm banging my head, Lou.
You want Shedeur Sanders, and you're not going to know.
No, it's not that. It's this idea that you're saying that fans think. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I haven't seen it yet. Like the Browns always say, well, we got a plan. I want to, okay, what's the plan? How are you going to make Jalen Milroy, who threw 13 interceptions last year and, had 3 interceptions in the playoff game against Michigan. How are you going to make him better? I know they got the guy from Alabama that's going to work with him. Great. But I want to see it. I don't believe that they're going to make this kid any better than he is right now. I mean, he'll get better just naturally because he's a great athlete and blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. I just think it's a really, if he's there, Lou, in the 3rd round, like at pick 67 or 94 or whatever they have, fine, take him. But I don't want.
You said it's a reach for him at 33.
Absolutely. And if the Browns consider they want to trade back into the 1st round, I mean, I want. Okay.
No. I'm just going to say this: whoever they draft, and whatever they do, I want that person to succeed. So I want him to be successful.
Well, I do too, but I like to complain. So
don't we all? Hang on a second.
I enjoyed listening to you guys the other night. Lou does the Burning River Browns talk, and he had
I was on with Ethan,
who does Going Nuclear, and also the best doggone podcast in the land with Heather.
Ethan and I talked a long time. It was wild.
You did, man. That was a record breaker. I think it took me an hour to.
Well, just so you know, speaking of record breakers, we're going to do a Friday night, 7:00, second day of the draft, Burning River Browns talk. We're hosting a panel. We got people coming and going, just like we did last time. Wonderful. But we will not have the draft live. You can come on. You're welcome. Absolutely.
Yeah, don't put the draft on live. I did hear your conversation.
No, I'm going to have it on a device off to the side. Everybody else can watch it on a device or the television off to the side. Volume can be up. You're okay with that.
Yep.
Just don't put it on the stream itself.
Correct.
And that's we're not going to do that. We got him. Boy, the NFL came down hard on us.
It was funny listening to you explain that to Ethan the other day on the show.
You would have thought the president was shot. Shit.
Yeah, it was a lot happening.
I was like, I could get it. I got it on my Spectrum app.
So Thursday, a lot of us here on the Fanatical Elves are going to be up there at the stadium. Lou and I and
who's going to be driving the ship? Is it going to be Steve Gill?
Well, no, I will probably start the show from my phone. Because
this ought to be great.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I can't do StreamYard from my phone. I've never done it. So go ahead.
Well, wait a second.
I've gone on as a guest.
Well, you come on as a guest. That's fine. I'll start it. I'll start it.
You want to drive the ship?
Yeah, I'll start it, and then people can pile on. I am actually supposed to be on another podcast for another network. They asked me to come on during. So I've talked to this other person, and
is it an Elves podcast or just outside the network?
It's a Michael who works down there in Dallas, that kid, Michael Davis. Yeah.
Davis. Yeah.
He's got a guy. He's got another guy, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's got their own podcast. It's like for just NFL football in general. And they want to have people on from the different teams. And they asked me a while back if I could join them for the first two picks. So we'll see. I'll probably I'll have I'll probably have two things going on at the same time. No, we'll see. But
that's fine. We're going to be juggling with the Journey concert and everything.
Yes.
Be a good time. And
are you excited about that? Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm also excited. The weather's supposed to be great. I was so excited.
I was
at the lawyer's office. The lawyer's trying to talk to me. I'm trying to tweet to somebody. I kind of screwed up what I tweeted and it looked like I didn't read his tweet. So sorry, Spider.
Oh.
It was just me.
Yeah, the weather. I just looked. It's supposed to be about 75 that evening. Pretty warm.
Yeah, pretty warm. I'm gonna bring a hoodie, but I'll be there in hoodie and shorts. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. It's supposed to be dry too.
Excellent. Now, so what we decided, Lou, my son is coming now, and I think I might have mentioned this last time.
Your son the last time, like Giants.
So that was Clay. Yeah, that's my one son, and I have my other son is Alec, and then my other younger one is Grant, who's got the autism. But Alec's the one that lives up in Grand Rapids, and so he's going to actually come down now Wednesday, and we're going to end up going up, and we're staying out there next to the airport, and we're gonna take the Rapid.
That's what we're doing. I'm taking the Rapid from actually Ethan's going to have a room downtown. And
that's what he said. Yes.
Yeah. I told him I'll meet him at a restaurant downtown. I think it's the 216 Pizza by the Tower City there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I said we can meet at Tower City. I like to eat at Tower City.
How soon are you getting there? Are you getting there right at 6?
I said I'm trying. I think I said I'll meet him there at 4:30, but I'll double. I'll text them the day before.
I'm not going to be getting there probably till 6:30 or 6. Might be during the concert, but.
I'll have my earbuds with me. I'll have my earbuds.
Are you in the upper deck?
Yes, we are, but we got good seats. So I'm happy. Look, it's a free. There's people that complained about the Browns not doing anything for the season. Now they gave us a free concert.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
it's something. It's something. They're listening. It tells me they're listening. Plus, they're working on the practice facility. He's investing the money. There's $2.4 billion being invested in a new stadium. Yeah, and there's people that are still. You're
not very happy. We talked about this. Your conflict or not conflict, but
it was just a discussion. It wasn't. Yeah, it's just. Well, the problem is that there's people. He wanted the thing to fail. And there's people that if your guy doesn't get drafted Thursday night, are you going to want him? Are you going to want the guy they drafted?
But it's tied to it's tied to the ownership, right? I mean, that's
we had Lerner here. They complained.
Why do they hate the Haslam so much? I mean,
because they're rich. Because they're rich.
Mm-hmm.
You have an owner that can spend the money and keep a team here and build. You should pay for all of it. Well, hold on.
Well, they had a nice soccer game too the other night. 60,000
people from the Columbus Crew came.
Mm-hmm.
No, but if you got a city that's going to get tax revenue from the usage of this facility, they should have some skin in the game, including the county. Mm-hmm. They should have some skin in the game. So that's like they asked them to pay for like what like 10%, less than 10%, like 8 or 9% of it. And then another 10% would be funded by, not 10%, maybe 20 would be a loan from the state.
Yeah.
And then everything else is privately funded.
Yeah.
So it's like, my God, 2/3 of it's privately funded already. So it's like, guys, what? And the same people that are screaming taxpayer money. What I always say, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
When you ask that question, say, okay, what's the alternative? Oh, we stay where we're at. Okay, what pays for that stadium?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
What pays for the maintenance?
Got to get at least.
What's going to pay for the remodeling? What's going to pay for all of it? It's on a 100-year-old foundation almost. Mm-hmm. It's sinking into a landfill.
It's sinking, kind of like quicksand.
Yeah,
I've seen those videos of these.
Well, I said that's all taxpayer money on a stadium that's going to sit empty 350 days out of the year.
Right. No, I think we know it's coming. It's just like trying to get other people to buy into it, and
they'll buy into it when they see it and they show up. And if the team is good, and competitive and wins, just like when the Indians opened up Jacobs Field.
What a magical time in Cleveland sports history, right? Wasn't that magical?
I was at so many games in that era.
I mean, the mid '90s, late '90s. Just
do you have any idea, John, how many chicks I picked up at Indians games?
I don't need to hear that, Lou. Come on now, you're
happily over my head,
and your wife just got a brand new car. Come on now,
a gorilla
price is right.
My head.
Lou,
they played the Ultimate Warrior music.
Lou, I'm very happy for you.
Very happy for you. Yes. I'm kidding. I was in college. It was a college time.
I was the polar opposite of you most of my life, probably. So while you were doing the wrestling, I was in the band. I was the one playing the trombone.
I was the one.
I was the 1987 trombone, the band member of the year for the Worcester High School Marching Generals. Thank you very much. I still have the trophy, and I'm very proud of it. Worcester,
Ohio. Worcester, Ohio. Nice place.
Worcester. It's Worcester.
It's Worcester.
My dad was the city planning director for years there.
Oh, cool.
And it's Wayne County.
Wayne County. Okay. So
you're getting into the heart of Amish country.
Yeah. Well, I'm down the street from Middlefield, Ohio, which is like the 4th largest Amish.
Yes, they have a lot up there. Yes.
There's a nice restaurant out this way it's an Amish family restaurant called Mary Yoder's. Okay. Really good. It's just north of Middlefield. It's on 608. Yeah, it's really it's a good place to eat, guys. Have you ever heard of Middlefield?
Yeah. Lots of places to go see. Anyway, okay.
If you want to, but I'm just saying, like, people, if you really are sitting there and you're hoping for a team that you say you're a fan of to fail, why are you even a fan? That's just my
take on that is the reason I think some people are that way, and it's the
Go ahead.
Why
I'm a psychologist. Yeah.
No, I think. Well, I mean, you and I are both in that same. A lot of us are in that same age group where we're just sort of, for me, it's like, okay, this team, we followed Cleveland sports teams all these years, and we've seen the same this and that all the time, and I think it's just like annoying, and so some fans are like, no way, I'm done, like, or this is stupid. And while you and I are more optimistic, we've really been paying attention to it, researching it, hearing what the people are saying and what the owners are saying, what they're going to do with the money. I mean,
Did you hear anything about Cincinnati since you're in Columbus? What's going on?
I mean, they want the same sort of. They're trying to get stuff down there. It's funny though. I was talking to.
They're late to the party compared to Cleveland.
Well, Cincinnati fans are just laid back. I mean, we were talking about that at work today. If you're a Cincinnati fan, and I know some of you might be fans of Cincinnati if you're listening, but Cincinnati fans, especially Bungles fans, are just like they're just a different breed. They're laid back. They don't really get they're not like hardy Cleveland hard nose.
We're like rabid. We're like
right. I mean, Cincinnati fans are just they're just daydreaming. They're reading books. They're sipping on their lemonade, and and then they fortunately had a football team that got to the Super Bowl, so then they like to talk about how, they're so much better than us, but they're the Bungles. So,
well, I'm just thinking, like, it seems like the Brown family came to the state pretty late about that. Now they're threatening to
yes,
move, which kind of,
yes.
I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
they're not. Yeah, they won't. I mean,
I don't think
I
they're
will
going to
say
move.
Cincinnati is a baseball town. I mean, Cincinnati is totally.
Cincinnati Reds is a more baseball thing.
For me, I mean, I've gone down there for decades. I mean, I don't know what your opinion is of Cincinnati, but I think
I've been through it. I've visited it, but it's been a long time.
I mean,
I've driven
Cincinnati to
through
me
it.
is like St. Louis. I mean, St. Louis is a baseball town. Like if you go to
Yeah,
St. Louis,
yes. St.
I
Louis
mean,
Cardinals game was huge there. Yeah,
that's a
huge
baseball town.
Yeah, I mean, they won the Stanley Cup recently. I think the Blues did, didn't they? The St. Louis
Yes,
Blues. Yeah.
yes.
So, and
I
then
spent a weekend in St. Louis one time. Went to a whole series. The Indians were in town, so I went to
the Indians.
Friday, Saturday,
Okay.
Sunday. This is back when I was just coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Spent a whole weekend down. Stayed at like the Westin downtown.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I was a crazy baseball fan and did all
They
that.
had a football. They've had football teams twice. They had the Rams and the Cardinals, and they lost them.
That's yeah.
The one.
Let me ask you,
Go ahead.
I want to go back to the draft for a second.
We'll go back to the draft. We just talked about this. I'm just saying, people, just if you're going to be a fan, great. But when you're wishing for somebody to fail, that's just your own pride and your own ego getting in the way. Whoever they draft, I want to succeed. I want the Cleveland Browns to succeed. Please go ahead, John.
No, okay. So I want to talk about quarterbacks and then running backs, just to get your take on some of these folks. So this Tyler,
the guy from Louisville.
Yeah, for God's sakes, man, they keep some of these.
I heard the Steelers brought him in for a visit, and the Steeler fans are like, "No."
Have you looked? Have you listened to or watched any other? Like I've watched a bunch of other shows, videos, podcasts, and stuff. And looking at, I mean, what? Like, dude's going to be 27. I mean,
I smell Brandon Whedon all over him.
I'm like, what is like? No, we're not taking him. If the Browns take him, I will lose my marbles.
Ethan said the same thing. Ethan said the exact same thing. He actually said he would say a word that would rhyme with his last name. That's what he said. He goes, "Can I say it here?" I said, "I've said it."
Well, when I see these things, it's like the only people that are suggesting that he goes to Cleveland are people that live outside of Cleveland, so they don't understand. I just think it's okay. So, are we convinced that Cam Ward is going number one? Right,
I would think it's I would say it's over 90% that he's going to go one. I haven't heard anything else.
Are you convinced that Sanders is going to go to the Saints at 9?
I think they will take him. I think if he's there at 9, they'll take him.
Unless Jackson Dart. This one I'm looking at has Jackson Dart going to the Squealers.
Okay, take him
at 21, and then it has the Browns taking Tyler Shook or whatever the kid from Louisville at 33.
We would take Jalen Milroe over Shook.
Well,
Milroe's young and he can be developed. They can work with him. Shook is what he is. I mean, he could be a 4th round pick and he could be like a journeyman backup type of guy. That's all he's going to be.
Will Howard, they have going to the Indianapolis Colts.
Interesting.
What do you think about Will Howard?
I heard Howard was being tied to the Vikings.
Okay.
That's what I was hearing, the Vikings. And I think he could develop into a good quarterback in the NFL. It just, I don't see why he couldn't, because I saw him develop throughout the year at Ohio State. So I was a fan of his. I thought he'd fit in very well with Stefanski's offense, but I don't think the Browns are going to take him. I don't think
he had some interesting comments about his girlfriend on that. Did you watch that thing that he did with Gruden? Go back and watch. It was a funny sequence. He's talking about his girlfriend, and just when we were talking earlier about Travis Hunter, it caught me off guard of what he said about the girlfriend. It wasn't anything terrible, but it was like, I don't know. It's just these young kids and the way that they think. It's a little different than I think I'm used to, just because it's a different day and age. So Kyle McCord going to the Los Angeles Rams is this guy.
Take him, yeah. McCord
Quinn Ayers going to the Raiders.
Have fun
in the 4th round.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel going to the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, I could see that.
And the quarterback from Notre Dame, Riley Leonard, going to New York.
Jets or Giants?
Giants.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Yeah. I think because they already signed 2 quarterbacks. They're going to still draft one. I would be surprised if we did draft another quarterback later that nobody's talked about in the draft. I'm
Right.
talking like
Right.
Is another guy.
I was looking at my list here. How about this Curtis kid from Indiana? Curtis.
Cook.
Cook or something like that.
Yeah, he played against Ohio State. Yeah,
this one ranking they have Quinn Ayers higher than Jalen Milroy on this one list that I have.
That's nice.
They have Milroy on this list as the 5th best quarterback.
Are those lists that arbitrary? They just pick people.
I know, right? This is like from NFLBuzz.com.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, they do a rating scale. They do all the different quarterbacks, but okay, let me talk about running backs and let me get your takes on these because there's a lot of running backs. There's a lot of running backs that the Browns.
I tell you, Caleb Johnson from Iowa would be good for the Browns. Travion Henderson.
I'm leaning toward Travion Henderson now over, like, if the Browns had to take, I'd take him if he's there at 33. If you want to take a play, I wouldn't complain
if they did that. I wouldn't complain if they did that. No, they could. God, you know what? They might shock everybody and wait till next year to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, like not draft one at all.
I would be. Wouldn't that be surprised too? What would happen if like we go through the first 2 days of the draft and no quarterback was taken and we filled out
you pick somebody else up in free agency or somebody else that's on another team and a practice
squad. Maybe trade for a guy that we think that we can work with and develop that we were watching. That was
Cam Scatterbo, the kid from Arizona State.
Oh, I heard a lot of good things. I watched him play in the playoffs. Yeah. He's a tough dude. I think people they like the name and they like when they see the toughness. Well,
keep these 2 names in mind: Devin Neal and DJ Giddens. DJ Giddens is from Kansas State. Devin Neal is from Kansas. I follow them quite a bit. Devin Neal has had a very, very good, consistent career. Grew up in Kansas, just solid. You look at his stats. The thing about these 2 guys that I like a lot, especially the Neal kid, is that he's catches a lot of passes out of the backfield. Had, I think, like 400 or 500 yards receiving. Really like that kid.
For
those in that,
there's a kid at was it not Texas? Was it Tennessee or Texas?
Yeah, it's Dylan Sampson.
Dylan Sampson, yes,
which could be the pick because I'm thinking the owners are tied to Tennessee.
Geez, I don't know how much. I don't know how much they'll listen to Jimmy. No, you fucked up Watson.
Right.
But he's writing the checks, man. So what are you going to do?
The Devin, then there's the small scat back Jordan James out in Oregon.
Do you think Jerome Ford will still be on the team after the draft?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay, I just question.
Here's a back that I could see the Browns taking in, like, let's say the 5th or 6th round. This kid out of Syracuse, LeQuint Allen. Do you know that name, LeQuint Allen?
Mm-hmm.
He got interviewed by our colleague at the Fans First, Kevin Smith. Kid grew up in New Jersey, and went to Syracuse. Had a very good career. Also, another player, running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield quite a bit. And I think he'd be somebody that you might the Browns might consider in those later rounds. The other, so that's my. I don't know. I just think Browns are definitely going to get a running back.
Oh,
a lot of people are suggesting that they're going to take two.
Yeah, that I could see 2 running backs. I could see 2 quarterbacks taken. They might not invest in a left tackle early because I think that free agent guard they got from the Bears is going to be playing left tackle. I think they did that because they're like, hey, we don't want to put a rookie out there because you're going to start Flacco. You're going to have an experienced tackle, a guy that can play. That guy's a good player.
Yeah.
He could have made more money playing guard somewhere else, but I think he's investing.
That's a good point.
On having a good year at a left tackle position and making bank. Because then if he's good at left tackle, we'll sign him. We'll extend him.
There's a lot of good tackles out there. There's a couple. There's one. Yeah,
there's some good tackles in this draft. Yeah,
there's a kid from North Dakota State, Gray Sable.
Yep.
And I think that would be like if the Browns stuck at 33 and he's there at the first pick, I'm grabbing him. If you look at everything about him, this kid, I mean, he's massive. He's huge. but he's played all over the line. He's played every position. He's just a great, great player. And a player like that who grew up in the heartland, I think he would fit in well with a team like Cleveland. So
just so you know, I never once picked up a chick at a Browns game, only Indians games. Over my head. Picked them up over my head and just tossed them. That's what I did. I gotta make fun of that. All right.
Okay,
anyway,
how about defensive ends? One guy that
edge guys. Yeah, they might invest in an edge guy. Go ahead.
Because if they take Abdul Carter, then that's it.
Yeah, but Abdul Carter hasn't been able to work out, so I think they're backing off of him.
Mike Green, the kid out of Marshall.
Yes, I heard a lot of good things about him. I heard a lot of.
If he's there at 33, I'm taking Mike Green. I mean, they're projecting him anywhere between the mid to late first to second round. So potentially he could, depending on how the draft board falls. But I love that. I mean, just reading up on him and seeing some reels on him. I'm real. I also like this Brian Swinson kid from LSU. I mentioned him in my last mock draft as well. So, anywho, those are just some players I was looking at earlier today. Oh, Brandon Swinson, SWINSON. What about and I was looking at cornerbacks and safeties for the Brownies. So what if they went out to Ohio State and went down there and got Denzel Burke, who's played 4 years at Ohio State?
I can't argue with that.
I mean, they're not projecting him in as a high. I mean, they're thinking like he might go in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. I mean, he's one of those.
That'd be a good solid pick.
He could be there.
Yeah.
If they want to look at a safety, there's this kid out of South Carolina that I was doing some research on earlier today, O'Donnell Fortune, Fortune. Look him up. Really good film, and he's played a lot of positions in his career going back to high school. And his upside, he won the defensive player of the game in the Senior Bowl or whatever. He had an interception and some other stuff. So, and if the Browns are looking at tight ends, I mentioned this guy before to you, Gunnar Helm, the kid from Texas.
Yep. I think the Fannin from Bowling Green.
Well, a lot of people like him. I mean, that would be.
There's a lot of players out there. When it comes to it's a deep running back class. It's a deep tight end class. Good defensive tackle class too, from what I heard. So there's a lot of good players out there. Just for some reason, people aren't confident on the quarterback class. But you like Shador, and you even said this a few shows ago. I think that what if it's completely wrong and the quarterbacks are good and the running backs suck? So we won't know for like 2 or 3 years.
Well, then there's the other idea that some people say, well, what if we get both Torrey Hunter and Sanders? That's still
Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders. Well, if
that happens, you know that Deion's on his way, and you know that Kevin Stefanski is on his way out. I mean, eventually that would happen. That the pressure would build, and I don't know if Kevin can handle that type of pressure going in.
Well, we'll find out.
Likely not going to happen, but
Yeah. No.
What are your thoughts on the whole Cavs thing last night? We talked a little bit about it at the beginning.
Yeah, we did. I mean, they lit it up. That was great. I expected them to win. I expect them to.
Are you a Ty Jerome fan?
I'm a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, so yes. I'm a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. So I think I said this in my article today was they need to wrap this series up quick and not mess around and not go 6 or 7 games. Do it in 5.
Yeah.
Get some rest, get into the next round. And one thing that's interesting, it looks like the Pistons were beating the Knicks.
Did they end up winning that game?
Let's see. I'll pull it up right now. Let's look at scores.
They were up.
It's 4th quarter, and Pistons are winning by 6.
Still, it's a close game.
Yeah. But there's like 3:24 left, so that's plenty of time. The thing that shocked me yesterday was that Memphis, Oklahoma City?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I was like third quarter. I looked it up. I looked on my phone. I was at my parents' house with the family. I was with my family. I was like, this score's not right. 78-36 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Right.
Oklahoma City's a good team.
So Cavs will, if they can get through Miami, then they'll more than likely play Indiana.
Yeah, they can get through Indiana.
Yeah. And then it would be a showdown with the Celtics.
Yep, probably.
Yeah.
And then after that, it'll probably be Oklahoma City. Yep.
That would be yeah. Okay.
It's good. It's not going to be an easy road, but the Cavaliers are a very good team. We're a tough team too. So I remember 2016. So I'll just remember that. So I feel better about this team than I did in 2016.
Yes.
I do. Yes. I just feel better about it. It just seems like they're more of a complete team. They're more, I don't know. It's just different.
Well, they played 10 guys last night. I'm a big Dean Wade fan, so I know that he didn't get his minutes because Ty Jerome really went out and did some great things.
And DeAndre Hunter didn't play much either.
No, he only got 16 minutes, which really, they're going to need him.
They're going to need him, so which is fine. He just didn't need him for this game.
Yeah, I was surprised he gave 25 minutes to Sam Merrill. Hey. But Sam did fine. I just think down the road they're going to need some of these other guys like, Hunter and like Dean Wade if they're really going to make a dent.
Game 2 is Wednesday.
Yeah, on NBA TV, which a lot of people are pissed off about because it's not regular TV and you have to have a subscription to NBA TV and people are annoyed by that. So
yeah, they're not getting my money. So that is annoying. It's a playoff game. Just have it on at least have it on our local fan.
So Lou, we're gonna get geared up. You're gonna go meet Ethan on Thursday.
Yep.
And Ethan, if you're watching, we're excited to meet you.
Yep.
In person.
Great to see him. I told just tell people I'm your bodyguard, Ethan. We're good.
Right. And we want to thank you.
He didn't get that. He never met me in person. Go ahead. Finish the sponsor. I talked over the sponsor.
Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They shake the hand of the farmer. Great group there in Mechanicsburg, Ohio, just up the road here from where I live. And I've been getting their coffee for 10 years now. And it's the greatest stuff in the world. It was funny to listen to you and Ethan talk about some of the different things there on their website. They have a lot of different varieties of things.
Click on the link, order up some coffee, and you tell them Lou sent you.
That's right.
Tell them
Lou the bodyguard.
Lou the bodyguard.
Did you see that they're thinking about making a new bodyguard movie?
The Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston one?
You can't do a new one. That's like that was meant for Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner.
And it was John Dutton. Come on, it's before Yellowstone.
I'm watching this game at the end of the Pistons are gonna they got a 4-point lead, but we really don't care. I just want to see
JB. Blue Jackets wiped out the Islanders. Jeez, 6-1.
Yeah, they're done. Their season's over. So
yeah, it looks
a lot of sad people here in Columbus. So, final thoughts, Lou, on this evening. I'll start the music, so I don't want to scare you.
No, it's fine. My final thought is, like I said this before, and I'll say it again. Whoever they draft, I want to succeed. And I want the Browns to have a plan and execute that plan. And I am very happy they brought back Joe Flacco. I am very happy they did. And I'm glad they brought in Kenny Pickett too, because I think he's an upgrade over DTR. So right now, we're just with those two guys compared to what we had last year, it's already an upgrade in the quarterback room. Flacco, at least we moved the ball and we scored points. He did turn over things, but we did move the ball and score points. We weren't even doing that without him. So it looks like they're going back to what they were doing before. Like I said, have a plan, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It'll be a lot of fun to see what happens. I think we're all anticipating.
It's going to be a fun night. Yeah.
Fun night with Journey there at the stadium, hoping for the best, and we'll continue to root on our Brownies. The schedule will be released soon after. I think probably the first or second week in May.
Yep.
Is from what
we could do a schedule show. So we'll see you guys in about 2 weeks.
Yes.
Maybe a scheduled show will be coming up around then, but we could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Sounds good, Lou. Take care. Have a good night, everybody. Go Brownies.
Go Browns.